We got taxi drivers protesting over the end of curbside pickups at LAX. Apparently, taxi drivers are angrier than Uber and Lyft drivers about the end of curbside pickup at LAX. How's it going, my fellow Uber and delivery drivers and anybody wanting to learn? Welcome back to the Driverman channel. I'm your man, Jose. Taxi drivers were protesting in front of City Hall on Friday, saying that this is not fair to them because they're already having to compete with Uber and Lyft in the first place, losing 35% of their tips due to these ride-hailing companies. Now, the advantage that taxi drivers seem to have at LAX over Uber and Lyft was that they could pick up anywhere. So they could sit there and pick up, in any spot, versus where Uber and Lyft, they had these designated areas on arrivals, these posts where they had to pick up riders. And so taxi's advantage is going bye-bye with this whole change of them grouping them out with Uber and Lyft, putting them in the same, basically putting them on the same playing field, which is difficult for them because they're not really on the same playing field, price-wise and things like that, which is why they've lost so much business. So it kind of makes sense. But one driver said that this change is basically like putting a 150-pound guy with a blindfold in the ring with a heavyweight champion. Interesting analogy, but I can totally see how that can be construed, because it's definitely not going to be easy for any of them. Anybody wanting to get a ride, it's going to take them at least, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes would be my guess. They're saying the maximum, LAX is stating the maximum will be 15 minutes to get to the designated parking lot because of the lane that they're having designated specifically for that. But like I said, we're not going to know until it actually happens, until it actually starts. But I can totally see how it's going to be a big disadvantage for taxi drivers, no longer having the leeway to pick up. LAX has been saying that they're taking up about 18.5% of the inner curb at LAX, and that's causing extra congestion. Not only that, but because 30% of the curb is closed off because of construction, then it's just going to get worse and worse. And so that's part of the reason why they ended up making this change. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be rough. I'm thinking, especially at the beginning. Hopefully they'll get that people mover thing going sooner than later, but only time will tell. So stay tuned, and we'll find out what happens, guys.